So let's call the meeting to order here at 10 o'clock, and those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this is the part where we would ask for any public comment for items that don't appear on today's agenda. We've got somewhat of a packed room, but I thought there was a slim chance somebody might be here from the Amateur or Ham Radio Club. Oh, why don't you come on up and approach the podium, and I believe it's Greg Geis.
Greg Geis, right.
Thanks for coming.
Some sunshine outside,
Yeah.
so we have something positive.
Clear skies.
It
Yeah.
only deals with positive items, right?
Yeah.
And to all of you, to the Board of Commissioners, Greg Geis, my amateur radio call sign is K3HOT, and I am Vice President of a group called the Network Engineers Repeater Association. 2 years ago, Center County and NERA entered into an agreement that allowed us to install amateur radio equipment at the old Rattlesnake, and that's in air quotes, tower site in Rush Township. The equipment installed and operational now for 23 months provides Center County and surrounding counties amateur radio operators a direct link to the PEMA, or Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency's amateur facilities down at the Capitol area in Harrisburg. We installed non-internet based communication system in support of the National Weather Service's Skywarn program. That's a severe weather spotters program, a program that assists in keeping our residents safe by allowing ham radio operators to immediately report ground truth. In other words, what's going on right now to the forecast floor up at the NWS office. I want to give you an update on the past year's operation, if I may. The installed equipment has allowed amateur operators in Center County and in the surrounding counties to participate in weekly preparedness networks and exercises. In 2024, there were 53 nets and 5 special operational exercises that we used this equipment. More importantly, though, the Skywarn system was activated 13 times by the National Weather Service office using this equipment. Amateur radio operators relayed weather information, ground truth information from Center County and surrounding counties a number of times. 2 times in particular were during tornado-warned thunderstorms that came through the Center County area. Luckily, both of those tornado-warned storms last year actually crossed the area just south of the Center County line in the area south of Fairbrook in Ferguson Township. I thought it was important to probably, to say thank you, of course, but to let you know how valuable the repurpose of specialized surplus equipment and locations are, such as the Rattlesnake site, and what it provides the residents of Center County. It's a classic case, in my mind, of surplus infrastructure, location, or equipment that can be used by people with specialized skills to benefit all of the residents of Center County, providing equipment that we use in conjunction with the National Weather Service, with your own EMA operations here in the county, with medical facilities relaying information in conjunction with the Red Cross when needed, to provide immediate radio coverage to Center County and to the surrounding area on the PEMA amateur radio tie-in link. So to the commissioners, to the 911 center, the director, the county EMA offices, I wanted to simply say thank you.
Well, thank you, Greg. You're welcome, and we appreciate it. I know from events that I've attended, like the MS 150 fundraiser for multiple sclerosis and the Ironman competition, that we often rely on ham radio operators for for events of that size, because there are areas, few in Center County, but more in surrounding counties, where not only is there no cell service, there's no emergency radio service either. Commissioner Concepcion, anything?
Yeah, thanks for doing this, because you never know when there could be, especially in severe weather circumstances, outages that could mean that other methods of communication that are more digital are not going to be available. So we're really grateful that for all the volunteers that are, part of this effort. And I'm glad that our, this repurposing of equipment was able to make that effort happen. So thank you.
Yeah, that's a valuable location, and the fact that the county cooperates with amateur radio operators to facilitate that, to keep it operational, allows us to give back to the community in a unique way.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think we all recognize this is a huge advantage for us to have this facility available to you folks, but I have another question. That is, if, I know you have a network of folks in the county that are involved in ham radio. If somebody wanted to get involved in ham radio, how does one begin that conversation? Where does one look?
The best way that I would suggest is to contact one of the local amateur radio clubs, of which the Phillipsburg Amateur Radio Club, which is very active in the western part of the county, and shares the location at Rattlesnake with some of their equipment to facilitate communications. The Nittany Amateur Radio Club, based in the State College in the center region, offer classes, offer one-on-one tutorials, have a number of background publications and videos to educate, and also the national organization that acts as the, if you will, the official spokesperson, spokesgroup for amateur radio, the American Radio Relay League, ARRL.org, is a great place to simply go and to learn what amateur radio is. And if I might, it's a unique hobby because it offers, it's really a communications hobby because there's amateur television, there's means of moving data and voice, bouncing signals off the moon, talking by shortwave around the world where there's no one between your radio and the other person's. It's a multifaceted hobby. And I would really honestly say that a major portion of the hobby is dedicated to public service and public safety.
Right, because I know there's a certification process to.
Well,
to
there's a
get
federal
involved.
licensing process. So
right.
the people, when I talk about amateur radio operators, these are people who have passed different degrees of proficiencies and are required to have and operate under an FCC license.
Great, well,
Well, thank you for making all that available to
Yeah.
the citizens of.
Well, we wanted to say thank you to you folks.
Yes, thank Greg. Any questions from the press?
Is there similar networks statewide that works with local officials like this, or is this unique to Centerton?
No, there are a number of networks statewide. There are county operations throughout the state where county amateur radio groups work with their local civil authorities, with the Red Cross, with other NGOs, for example. There are statewide radio nets that operate in many different modes, digitally, some shortwave, or what hams call HF. And of course, what we have here is an ability to operate. The key here, Gary, is to have the ability to operate from handheld and mobile radios to relay information over a large geographical area immediately to the Weather Service. And that's what this equipment really operates in support of.
All right, well, thanks again, Greg,
Yeah.
and thanks to the amateur radio operators in Center County.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate you
welcome.
coming in.
Thanks. Any additions to the agenda? No? All right. Moving on to the meeting minutes then, as long as they're all right, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the meeting held January 28th.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the meeting held on January 28th. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. Motion carries. And we have an announcement involving the Center County Veterans Affairs Department. We have Brian and Deb and Mel to talk about the Hometown Hero donation to the Military Share Program. I don't know if all three of you are coming up, or who's the spokesperson?
Well, no, wait. You had something you wanted to do with the public comment?
I was going to say, under public comments, I wanted to
Oh,
speak
sorry.
also. That's okay.
Okay.
That's all right. And this has to do with the tax collecting.
All right.
My name is Deborah Berger. I am the Bellefonte Borough tax collector and also the Center County Tax Collector Association president. And first, this is kind of a community announcement for all those that will be receiving their real estate tax bills. Starting in March, all of them will go out. Starting February 1st, the interim bills will go out. And I'm trying to alleviate some of the calls and problems for the tax collectors with the new system. Because the county is switching vendors from RBA to GSS, your local tax collector will not be mailing out your bills. They will be coming from a company out of Wayne County. It's a trifold bill. It's going to look this way. And that is the trifold bill instead of the envelope that you have been used to receiving from your municipalities. If your municipality decided to stay with RBA out of Lamont, you will receive 2 bills. We want to make sure that these bills are not going to be thrown away thinking that it is a duplicate bill. So you would be receiving 2 bills. One, as you have in the past, in the envelope from your collector. The second one will be the trifold. All the payments will be, as in the past, paid to your local tax collector. If you paid both bills there, you will still pay there. Those that paid at the county, you will still pay here at the Willow Bank Tax Office. And if you paid your municipal bill at your municipal office, you will pay there. Those will all say the same. Because the elected tax collectors are not the ones mailing out the bills, we want to make sure that the people that have escrows understand we will also not be the ones mailing them to your escrow company. So we strongly suggest that if you have an escrow, you get in touch with your mortgage company and you see that they receive the figures to pay your taxes. Okay. On another note, the tax collectors are grateful for the 50-cent per bill increase that you gave us in 2025. Hopefully, that is because you recognize our dedication and professionalism, and also that by switching vendors in the middle of our current 4-year term, it caused some tax collectors who were not using the computer system to have to go out and purchase a computer, or because they live in an outlying area where the internet was not strong enough, they had to buy an internet booster. Some of the tax collectors are also moving their office to their municipality to be able to use their internet. When they chose to run and were elected in 2021, nothing was mentioned to them about needing to go computerized. In saying that, the tax collectors received Mr. Franik's email yesterday with the proposed compensation change for our next term of office, which the tax collectors need to set before they decide to run, and the deadline is February 15th. That is to be part of a resolution that will go before the Board of Commissioners on February 11th. After last evening's email, I've heard from multiple collectors, and we would like to express our disappointment, especially for the years 26, 27, as they are substantially below our original request. We respectfully request that the compensation for 26, 27 be adjusted to match the planned increase for 28, 29. This adjustment, which amounts to $16,254 for the 30 elected tax collectors, or comes to the amount of $541.80. If that was in the 2025 budget, that would be out of a $135 million budget. A budget that the tax collectors help to balance by collecting your real estate taxes. We appreciate your consideration for this request of upping it from the 50 cents to the dollar for the entire 4-year term after 22 years of committed service. We look forward to seeing it on the upcoming Board of Commissioners meeting on February 11th. Thank you. That was my business.
All right.
Now I'll put on my
We're at 3 minutes.
veteran hat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, what I'd like to do, she'll be up next here, but I always get the good job here of introducing people that are giving money away, and I think it's a good thing here. So what I wanted to do is introduce Mel Curtis from the YMCA, Onoe County YMCA.
Yeah.
He runs the Military Share Program, which is a new program, just started last month, and I thought it'd be very good for him to talk about what this money is going for and perhaps how people can give more money to it. So Mel Curtis, come on up here.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning, Mel.
The military share program was something that we looked at in the past, and we really didn't know how we were going to run with it. Since COVID, actually since 2004, the major changes that we've seen in central Pennsylvania are phenomenal. I mean, you know, today we are feeding more families than we did at the height of COVID. We're doing 1,658 backpacks going into school every week right now. So we definitely have an issue. We have a problem in Center County, and you know, and I'm sure you totally understand that. The military share program is a great program for a lot of reasons. Number one is we're honoring our veterans for them taking their time, putting their lives on the line to, you know, to serve our country. But also too, if a veteran is deceased, the surviving spouse can still receive this food, which is great. First week out in January when we started, we had 25 people who showed up. As of last night at midnight, we have grown already to 75 families. Okay, I believe this is going to continue to grow. I think it's a much needed program. I think one of the hardest things is, you know, I get the opportunity to talk to a lot of these veterans on the phone beforehand, and their worry is very simple. Am I taking food from someone else? And very simply, no. The veterans, this program is earmarked. This food goes to veterans, and you're not taking food from other people. So we've been able to build some strong relationships, because I think that's very important when you're dealing with veterans. You know, you have to build that trust pattern and things like that. And quite honestly, what a great group of people. When they come through that line, you know, they smile. They're very, very polite, and you know, they want to know more. And you know, so we're very proud to be part of this program. I do want you to understand one thing. This program is totally run by donation. Okay, and a lot of times we look at things. For right now, for every family coming through, it's costing the YMCA anti-hunger program $15 for every family. Okay, so we raise that money through donations, through grants and things like that, as a lot of our other programs, our backpack program and stuff like that. Not all food programs are reimbursed through federal government, and I think that's totally, you know, most people do not understand that. We have two programs that receive funding, and that is the CACFP program for before and after school and child care, and the summer lunch program. Everything else, we totally have to raise money to make these things happen. So if there are people that are interested in helping out this veterans program, you can go on to the YMCA and pull up the anti-hunger department, and you can call me direct. I'll be more than happy to sit down and talk to you, give you the statistics of what we're seeing, and we'll go from there. Okay? Questions?
Now, could you talk, when the dates military share actually happens?
Yes. Military share right now is the second Monday of every month. To be very honest with you, I can see this thing growing to twice a month. I can also see this potentially splitting off and going to two areas in Center County. It's right now we're at the 3C Sports and Event Center. We start the distributions at 10 a.m. Volunteers have been phenomenal, and you know that, like with anything like this, when you're standing out in snow or rain or whatever, you know, God love them. You know, it's not easy, but we may look at towards summer of going to twice a month and moving somewhere down in the Bald Eagle Valley. because we're watching very closely where the veterans are coming from. Okay? No questions? Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Yeah, that's a good one.
I swear to God, everybody in the country's got my number. My direct, yeah, I'm not gonna give you my cell phone, that's out too much. My direct line into my office is 814-801-0111, okay? And I get that 24 hours a day, so. But the thing I want you to understand, if you know of people, if you know of veterans, please talk to them about this, because this is important, okay? And I think that, you know, a lot of times we take for granted, if you actually look back at it, you know, I dare anyone sitting in this room, if we were to walk together down any major street in the United States, I dare you to tell me who's facing food insecurity. There could be, half the people in this room could be facing food insecurity. That doesn't mean you're dirty. It doesn't mean you have ripped pants, you know, and all that type of stuff. Food insecurity is something that we need to educate our kids and families on. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Mel. Appreciate all you're doing for Center County and some of the surrounding counties.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to have Deb Barker from the Hometown Hero Program. She's going to talk about the money, how it was raised and what was done with the Hometown Hero Program, and hopefully we can get a picture after this is over with the donation.
We can.
Yeah,
Okay, this is my passion hat, and veterans are my passion. On behalf of Historic Bellefonte Incorporated and the Hometown Hero banners, I would like to say that we completed our 5th round of banners. We have 46 banners with 55 heroes from the Spanish-American War to present time. We have fathers and sons, husbands and wives, multiple sets of brothers, and we also have first responders hanging in our town. Anybody wants to come through town and see our banners and want to know where a particular banner is, you can pick up one of these pamphlets. It's a program from our dedication service, and they are at the train station in Bellefonte. And it has stories in there from some of the heroes. Some of these stories are incredible. The one about a prisoner of war from World War I is just amazing how he survived. Every round of the banners, we are pleased to be able to give away a donation to nonprofit organizations. And we are so pleased and proud to be able to give a $3,000 donation to the Military Share Veteran Food Program. So, Mel, would you like to come up?
sure, let's do it up here.
Okay.
You probably need to come all the way over past Ferguson Township. You do. Okay, so a little bit that way, a little bit that way, right, JJ?
Yeah.
All right, we want to try to get Amber and I in here too. Good, Steve, are we good?
Awesome. Smile, looking great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Okay.
Nice contribution.
Yes,
Very good.
Yep, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, Mel, for coming in.
Yep,
Ryan,
no
as
problem.
always.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Okay, I would just like to let the public know that we will be doing another round of the banners starting in 2026. Be watching for information as to where you can pick up the application in the spring of 2026. Watch Historic Bellefonte Incorporated website and also Bellefonte Borough's website.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, we will now move on to proclamation number 5, proclaiming February as Career and Technical Education Month in Center County. We would like to thank the teachers, administrators, and young people who are here, and apologize for the somewhat slow start. Let's bring these up, at least in the order that they were written down here on the left-hand side of my agenda. We'll start with the State College Area School District. I think we
Ben just
have,
stepped out.
Ben just stepped out. Okay, we'll move on and loop him in later.
Coming back in.
We have Marianne and Jessica from CPI and 2 of their students. Is it Jaden and Avery? All right, if all of you could come up and Shall we, is it better, Gary, if they sit in the couple chairs right here? Yeah, Gary prefers it if you'd sit in the chairs over here.
You want me to sit there too? or
Sure.
just you?
Yeah, just-
However the three of you want to split the two chairs.
I just stay.
All right.
You guys can.
There you go. Good. How you doing? There you go.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, Steve doesn't normally bite, so,
At least not hard.
yeah.
Will you be able to hear me if I speak? Is that okay, or do you need me in the mic?
You want to come up, Marianne?
Oh. Hold on. She's
Okay.
stuck in without me.
I
All right.
We caught her.
We caught her here. All right.
All right, so for today, we'd like to thank you guys for your continued support for career technical education and for your support at CPI. So here at CPI, we are blessed with amazing relationships with our sending districts and with our business partners and the opportunity that they have given us to help our learners enhance their learning and the different opportunities they have. So at CPI, we have 16 high school programs, and we have numerous post-secondary programs as well. And I brought 2 of our rock star students with us. And I'm going to introduce Jaden first. This is Jaden Wagner. He graduated in July in our post-secondary CNA program. So Jaden.
Nice.
How y'all doing? If I go too long, just cue the Oscar music,
Oh,
kick me
all
out.
right.
Yeah, no, one thing I can say is CPI definitely changed my life. I have nothing against kitchen jobs. I was just doing nothing but working kitchen jobs for, my whole life. And I seen about the CNA program that was going on, and I didn't have a car at the time. I lived in Williamsport, still do, 45 minutes away, and so in an undisclosed location because I found the private property sign later. I set up a tent, and in the woods, and I walked a mile to the class every day, and at least until my clinicals, I had a very nice classmate that let me stay with her at the time, with her and her husband. But yeah, and I did everything that I could to try and get my life under control. I have a car now, I have an apartment, I have everything that I really wanted to work for and do good for, and I have her to thank too. That's my girlfriend. She kept me motivated and take me home when she could, and all I can say is CPI has definitely blessed me with a life I didn't know, and everything they taught me in that class, I realized how to love people that you didn't know you could, because there's so many people, because I work in nursing homes, there's a lot of people that get dropped off there, their families, they don't visit them, and that's when I become their family, and I get to love them every day, and that's just something they taught me, and I'm very, very grateful that I got the experience to do that, and I'll appreciate them for the rest of my life.
That is a tremendous amount of dedication, Jaden.
It was, should have seen the Coyotes on the first night. The next,
Yeah.
the next day, I remember the security guard. I had him hold the grocery bag because I didn't want to walk into the school with it.
Yeah.
But I got white vinegar and Tabasco sauce so I could put it around my campsite. Because the first night, about 100 feet away from me, I heard at least 6 of them. I was
Oh my gosh.
we're on camera, so I can't say
Yeah.
can't believe it. Yeah,
Might not want to divulge everything.
yeah. It was quite the experience, but it was definitely made me a lot better of a person. Made me who I am today for sure.
Glad to hear you're in a caring profession, and obviously there's a career ladder in nursing.
Yeah.
Over time, definitely more education and more skills. Sounds wonderful. And if any other commissioner wants to comment.
Yeah,
before we
I'm
move
just
on.
amazed at your dedication and that it's fantastic that we have programs like CPI that offer opportunities to people who are willing to put in the work.
Oh
to
yeah,
do it.
they help
Yeah.
me every day. I remember I was living off of Kansas Chef Boyardee, and I still went in every morning. They gave me a bagel. It was awesome. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. I'm not much of a public speaker.
Ah, you're doing well.
Jay,
Yeah.
is there any chance that you sell a bottled enthusiasm that we can perhaps purchase?
I can't say that. And I can't say that right now I have no sleep under my belt, and I just came off of a 16-hour shift, so I can't say I always got enthusiasm, but I'm trying to bring it today through the
Well,
tiredness.
you've got all the mojo you need today, so this is fantastic. I mean,
Thank
this is what it's all about, and the whole lot of us, I think, no matter where you're, learning and training from, this is what it's all about. And to see somebody take an opportunity and run with it as you have, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
We're very pleased to have you this morning, and wish you only the best moving
Thank you.
forward.
Please-
And they do have an LPN program out there too.
Yeah, I'm
Just to
thinking,
remind you.
I'm thinking about going for my. I'm either going to do that or I'm thinking about going for my RN hopefully this
Oh,
fall.
there you go. Or that.
Yeah. Get enough grants hopefully.
Yeah.
Try.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Tough,
Jake.
tough act to follow, though.
Yes.
This is Avery Milanese. She is a 10th grade Bellefonte student in our welding class.
Oh, very
And
good.
Avery is absolutely one of our welding rock stars, so. Go ahead, Avery.
Yeah, my name's Avery. I'm in welding. This is my second year, and I'll be graduating next year. I was supposed to graduate in 27, but now I'm graduating next year. And welding has been a big opportunity to know what I want to do in the future. And my teacher, Mr. Riggle, this year's also his second year, and he's been a great teacher, and he's taught me a lot. And I'm really excited to just keep learning about welding. And it's been a great place to meet people too. And I've met a lot of great people.
Thank you.
Did you
Wonderful,
have
Avery.
did you have the pleasure of working with Mr. Finnefrack when he was there?
I did meet him, but I didn't have him as a teacher. But he was a great person when I did meet him.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
And
thank you guys again.
welcome.
And we're
Thank you.
excited to celebrate CTE Month.
shall we do a picture with each group, John?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So if we could have anyone who is affiliated with CPI,
That'd be Mary Ann.
come on up. And
No pressure.
CPI photo.
No pleasure. Good stuff. We need welders.
Thank you.
And healthcare folk.
Should we put the students in?
And
the middle?
administrators.
So,
I'm pretty sure just about all you.
a tiny bit this way, I think, right, JJ? Is that what we need? Amber, a little tighter? All right.
Smile, 1, 2, 3. Oh, what am I doing? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, we're back.
Great. All right,
Thank you,
thank you,
guys.
and take that with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
All right, and then bouncing back to State College Area School District with Ben and two of his students. Same thing, try to split the two chairs between them and
So, hello, thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Ben Morden, and I am the CTC Director at the State College Area School District. It's with great pride and appreciation that we celebrate February as a National CTE Month, and we recognize the students engaged in career technical education across the county. These valuable courses equip our students with critical skills through a combination of knowledge and hands-on learning, while also allowing them to apply academic concepts to real-world challenges. The State College Area School District is very proud to celebrate our Career Technical Center, which is housed within our high school. Students enrolled in these programs and our student organizations gain authentic, impactful experiences that enhance their academic journey and maximize their engagement and overall success. Currently, more than 1,800 students are enrolled in our CTE, FCS, and technical education programs. These courses simultaneously prepare our students for high-priority professions and post-secondary education. Our exceptional teachers and paraprofessionals work relentlessly to provide students with the tools and resources necessary to master the academic, technical, and employability skills that are essential for success in today's workforce. We are deeply grateful for their unwavering commitment to our students and to our community. And at this time, we're going to have two of our students. They'll introduce themselves and they'll provide some brief comments related to their experience. So, Clayton?
So my name is Quay, and I'm part of a early childhood education program. I'm also part of Skills USA, which lets CTE students showcase their skills through competitions. And when I grow up, I want to be an elementary school teacher. And one thing I like about the program is I get hands-on experience working with kids. Thank you.
Sweet.
that's wonderful, Clayton. I know a lot of the Center County schools do very well in the skills competitions.
Yeah.
And happy that our students are able to enhance their skills and meet other students who are interested in the same career fields. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Millie. I'm a senior at State High in the Health Professions CTC program. I'm really thankful for just all of the opportunities I've gotten, not only in school, but to get involved in our community. Taking the healthcare classes inspired me to become an EMT, so now I volunteer at Center Lifelink, and that's been really great experience and also something I really enjoy. As well as just other experiences, like we got to watch a live surgery in Hershey, and we do like service projects around the community. In nursing homes, we decorated for the holidays, things like that that have just been really impactful to be a part of and inspire me to pursue a career in healthcare.
Wonderful. You're already out in the community helping serve at this
Yeah.
point. And to remind everybody, all of the ambulance services are currently selling memberships, so make sure you send yours in. Anything from the
Yeah, so
commission?
thanks so much for being here. Again, my kids have benefited from the CTC programs at State High. And, I've been able to see firsthand the dedication of the teachers who are running these programs with really an eye towards what do kids need after school, what's going to put them on their path to career success. And there's just such a diversity of fields that are covered by career and technical education. And I think you can see that we've got these fields like healthcare and childcare and elementary education are covered here. Then, welding and auto mechanics and technical education with, whether it's you want to do software design or, anything in those kind of fields are also covered by career and technical education. So it's really a tremendously broad field within our school systems and offering kids such a diverse amount of ways that they can add to their core classes to make sure that they're seeing all the different opportunities they have after graduating. So thanks for everything you put into it.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
Well, what do you want to do when you graduate this June? I'm just curious. What has caught your eye?
I really like emergency medicine from like working as an EMT, so I want to do something in that. I don't know if that will be like nursing or like a physician's assistant but something in that department.
Something in the emergency field. Well,
Yes.
we certainly need that, and we appreciate that. And hopefully, I never see you in a professional.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic. Congratulations to you both. I'm sure you're preparing yourselves for like bright careers in the future, and we need you both. So stay at it, and we really appreciate you coming in today.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And just realizing my son got his start as an IT professional at CTC classes in the school district. So wonderful programs, and as you said, 1,800 participants just in your school district, not counting additional thousands throughout the county. It's tremendous. Unless there's anything else, I think we'll do this batch, right?
Great.
All right, come on up.
Fantastic.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We have Billy on State College, Clayton on Bellefonte. Still just in. Thanks. Thank you for coming. Oh, you keep that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for telling your tales.
All right, and now, last but certainly not least, a couple of long-term friends of mine, Jeff and Jim, along with Caton, one of their students from South Hills, here to talk about all the many programs they offer at South Hills.
Yes, thank you, Mark, and good to see you, Amber and Steve. It's always every year. Sometimes this is the only time I get to see you guys, unless I happen to be attending a parade, a local parade, or at the grocery store. Sometimes I'll run into Mark. But anyhow, I'm Jeff Stahusky, and I am the marketing and outreach director for South Hills School. Been there for quite a few years now. And, just last month, we marked the 55th anniversary of South Hills, starting its operations in State College, Pennsylvania. Our founder, Paul Mazza, saw the workforce need for advanced secretarial skilled people. And so he started the school as South Hills Secretarial School. Over the past 55 years, we have evolved to meet industry and business needs. In the 80s, we changed our name. We became South Hills Business School to reflect the fact that we were teaching some business skills, accounting and management, marketing, things of that nature. In the 90s and at the turn of the millennial, we changed our name once again to reflect our new focus on technical programs. And so, and we added our engineering technology, information technology, networking, computer stuff, software development and programming, and those types of things. If we were going to change our name again, it would probably be changed to South Hills Technical School, because we have really skewed very far to the technical arenas for the workforce training. Today, as I do each year, I like to focus on one of our programs. And today we're going to focus on one that at first blush, you may be a little surprised that it's considered a technical program. But indeed, our graphics arts program is an associate and specialized technology degree program. And our new tagline for it is where art meets tech. And if you think about it, your life is impacted every day by artists who are portraying whatever it is, whether it be in digital media, in packaging design, in advertising, in marketing in general. These artists deploy modern technological tools to convey messages that we all use every day. And so today we're going to be talking to a couple of our folks in our graphic arts program. First, the program department head I'd like to introduce is Jim Colbert. And then I'll introduce a former student who is a current employee, one of our returning adult graphic artists, Caitlin Goss. So first, Jim, could you say a few words?
Thank you, Jeff. First off, it is an honor to be here and formally.
A variety of them for both the correctional facility and facilities management in general.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm asking for your consideration and approval of a contract with Overhead Door of Nittany Valley to provide the replacement of a 10-foot garage door at the Sally Port of the correctional facility. The 4 doors that exist are original to the facility, so they are getting to be about 20 years old. We're starting to see some wear and tear on the motors and other components. So this is just a routine replacement to try to keep everything operational. That contract is $16,363. The next item is asking for your consideration and approval of a CoStarz contract with Nittany Building Specialties to provide the replacement of glass at 12 windows to the rear of the correctional facility. The current windows have lost the argon between the layers, so you cannot see see out of the windows. That contract totals $13,865.
Great, thanks for covering those. Jonathan, as you mentioned, that facility is about 20 years old now, and a lot of items either are beginning to fail or need to be replaced.
Yes.
Comments from either commissioner on that one?
Actually, just a point of historical reference. Those overhead doors originally had a shorter door in them when the place was built, and we actually had to go back and change the height of the doors so they would clear more vehicles that went through there.
Oh, okay. I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But at some point, somebody needs to remember a little history about this. So.
Then I'll move to add the Center County Correctional Facility items 1 and 2 to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to add the 2 items for the Center County Correctional Facility to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Jonathan. And now you have 3 more items for facilities.
Yes. I'm asking for your consideration and approval of a CoStarz contract with H&H Sales Associates to provide 20 water source heat pumps to replace the end-of-life units that we have here at the Willowbank building. We currently have 89 water source heat pumps in this facility, and this is part of a preventative maintenance plan that we have in place. So we will replace about 20 a year until we get through them all. The current units are from 1989, so we've gotten our use out of them. The next is a CoStarz contract with Nittany Building Specialties to provide the replacement of 2 exterior steel doors at the sheriff's office and 1 exterior steel door here at the Willowbank building. Those doors have seen better days. They are starting to rust. The frames are falling off. So they're just in need of general replacement. And the last is a CoStarz contract with Nittany Building Specialties to replace the carpet with LVT flooring in the Prothonotari's lobby at the courthouse. That carpet has also seen better days as it sees a lot of traffic coming through that office during the day. So with the LVT, it will be easier to clean and be a nicer appearance in that office.
Great, thanks for covering those, Jonathan. And yeah, it sounds like with a lot of the heat pumps in the building dating back to 1989, we are well past expected end of life for those units.
Yes, we have got well beyond what I would have expected out of those units.
Yeah, and just thanks for the work that you've done since you've been on board with us to keep on track with these, life cycle kind of needs.
Absolutely.
Maintenance is maintenance. Thank you very much for keeping track.
I'll move to add the facilities management items 1 through 3 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to add the facilities management items 1 through 3 to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.
And now Norm from 911 has a contract renewal for us.
Requesting a contract renewal with Mission Critical Partners for their support of the Southern Alleghenies 911 Cooperative Grant projects. This includes the regional EZNet port monitoring, cybersecurity policy development, and the planning and support for the regional cooperative projects. Since these projects are a regional cooperative effort, they are 100% funded by PEMA. The contract total is $63,210.60 for the period of January 1 through December 31st, 2025.
Great. Thank you, Norm. And we appreciate the reimbursement from PEMA. And it sounds like we're kind of the lead county for a regional group on this one.
Right.
All right. Great. Any questions, Commissioner Concepcion?
It's all good.
All right.
All right, I'll move to add the contract with Mission Critical Partners to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to add the contract with Mission Critical Partners to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks,
Thank
Norm.
you.
Thank you.
All right, and then we have an item here for criminal justice planning. There's Natalie. We'll cover that for us.
Good morning. So on behalf of the Criminal Justice Planning Department, I'm looking to consider an approval today for a project modification request for our intermediate punishment treatment program. We are asking for an additional $25,000 in those grant funds. This is funding that if other counties aren't spending at the capacity that they need to, then we have the opportunity to apply. Last year, Carrie's office applied for an additional and received $18,000. So this year, we're applying for $25,000, and it's specific. Those costs are going to go toward outpatient counseling costs through the Drug and Alcohol Office and additional drug testing through our probation office.
Great. Thanks for covering that, Natalie. Any questions from either commissioner?
Nope, pretty straightforward.
I'll move to approve the project modification request for the intermediate punishment treatment program grant.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the project modification request for the intermediate punishment treatment program grant. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks,
Thank you.
Natalie. Have a fairly short consent agenda.
I'll move to approve this week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve this week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We have two items under authorities, boards, and commissions. I'd like to remind citizens of Center County alone needs hundreds of citizens to run all of our various authorities, boards, and commissions, and the local municipalities need probably double what we need because there's 35 of them. So please do consider volunteering. Alexander Duranko is being appointed to the local emergency Planning Committee for an indefinite term. I believe he handles safety for a large local manufacturing firm. And Carol Hine has resigned from the Aging Advisory Council. We thank her for her service from January 1st of 2024 to February 4th of 2025. Unless there's anything on these items, we'll take a motion.
Okay, then I'll move to approve the ABC appointment and resignation.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the ABC appointment and resignation. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And now we have Liz Lose here regarding a letter of support for the Center WISP bead program application. We've all been working on this for years and years, and I think Gary Sanderson is going to like seeing the geography that the map will be covering for this application. And we'd like to thank all the companies that the county has worked with for our support letters and the grant. And I'll hand it over to Liz for more details.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Back on the 21st of January, I brought before the board the proposal from Black Bear Fiber, also known as Center WISP. And it was agreed upon that this proposal could move forward in some shape or form. There was just some more details that had to be accumulated. And then there was some other discussion in the background about how to advance this project given the match amount that is required in the BEAD program. So Center WISP, or Black Bear Fiber, brought back additional details with their proposal for your consideration. So what they are proposing is to do entirely fiber to the premises. It's going to entail 166 miles. That's going to be like mainline fiber, your individual connections to different homes. This has really been the preferred technology by the Broadband Authority and the federal government to reach both unserved and underserved locations. So the bigger question has been, who is going to be served? And this is going to include 457 broadband serviceable locations in Penns Valley. And by that, I mean the state has already identified these locations that they want targeted to get the broadband service. This includes 361 homes, 81 businesses, 15 locations are classified as other. And the conversation that we had with Black Bear Fiber, we believe that these are more of like a farmland or an agricultural location. But even more so, this proposal is going to link up to 5 community anchor institutions in the Penns Valley. And I think this is very substantial when you start to look at what that impact is, that it can serve a broader audience. So I know everybody is anticipating. All right, these are the proposed areas that Black Bear Fiber intends to service should they be awarded in the BEAD program. I did bring I don't want to laser anybody in the, there we go. So the white numbers inside of these polygons represent the number of locations that are going to be served. For North Gregg, South Gregg, South Potter Township, and all of Miles Township. These yellow dots indicate where the community anchor institutions are. So you have a school, fire hall, community center, and then a church. So this is a much broader proposal that was brought in this BEAD funding, than it was in the Capital Projects Fund. So as far as the timeline, they have indicated that the smaller projects will go first. So we would be looking at a build out in 2025, 2026, 2027, and 2028. What is even more, I think, profound about this, when you start to look at the numbers, there remains about 2,000 locations in Penns Valley that do not have service. They're either underserved or no service at all. This potential build out, because they would be required to get to those locations, it would make up to 36% of all the unserved and underserved locations in Penns Valley. So that being said, we had talked about a match commitment, and Center Wisp, Black Bear Fiber is willing to bring 15% to the table, and the county, in bringing a 15% match, would get that match level under the grant up to 30%. So that was the commitment that we would be making to do this project out. So I'm going to pause for a minute and answer any questions that you might have.
Well, maybe more of a statement. Liz, I'd like to thank you for your multiple years of work on this, and I'd like to thank Black Bear Fiber / Center Wisp for being a good county partner with this. I know when they started by putting the Wisp antennas on top of the Center County government 911 towers, they immediately started serving over 800 businesses, residences, and community institutions. And now some of these areas, for example, are like the wrong side, Brush Valley and kind of edges of the Georges Valley areas, where, as you mentioned, there's many homes that are drastically underserved or not served whatsoever, including a certain famous news person in the back of the room. We do have Livonia on this map for you, Gary. Commissioner Concepcion?
Yeah, thanks for your work. This has been really a long process because a big piece of this process was our strategic plan in Center County to identify the places that were in most, in need and underserved within our.
These are locations determined by the state, would you say?
Yeah, so you remember when it started with the FCC?
I was looking at, so we had the dashboard here, remember we had people testing and.
Yes.
How much of the county input is considered by the state, I guess I'm asking?
Well, to the extent that the state is looking at it, I mean, they had looked at our strategic plan, but it's really coming down to the ISPs looking at the strategic plan and then looking at those data points where they are targeted to put service to.
Talk about matching funds, it's the county and the provider, in other words, the municipalities there, Greg or Miles, they're not providing funding either?
Well, for the municipalities, it would be a heavy lift for them because overall, the total cost estimate, we're gonna, can we talk about it?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, so the total cost estimate to do this build out is $3.4 million. A 25% match is required under the BEAD. Dave is willing to bring 511,000 and was it 567 to the grant, and the county is willing to bring that as well, contingent upon if he is awarded. So getting this application to that 30% match mark is really critical because 40% of the application score is weighed based on that grant match and the price per location that a provider can, the cost to get service.
3.4 million is just this phase?
No, it's all 4 phases.
Okay,
All
I mean, just the Penns Valley?
Yes.
Yeah, just that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your service and help over the years. It's been a long.
It has been. It's been a long haul. I appreciate your patience. I know I was kind of a broadband basket case last week because everything was very slow
Yeah.
and then everything went very fast. It was
Yeah.
a very condensed process. But we're kind of here on the cusp and we want to take advantage of this funding because we are not going to see again in our lifetime this amount of money, investment into broadband.
What do we say in your career, Liz? I'm expecting you're going to live a long, long time.
You never know. Future's unwritten.
Yeah. Any additional questions on the county's commitment of $511,000 for match to help serve, I think you said it was 460 some residences, there are 457 residences, agricultural sites and businesses, community anchor institutions in Penns Valley. No? All right. So I think we could take a motion then.
I'll move to approve the letter of support for Center Wisp BEAD program application.
I will second that.
All those in favor of approving the letter of support for the Black Bear Fiber Center Wisp BEAD program application, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose nay. Motion carries. Thanks again, Liz.
Yeah, thank
Thanks.
you.
We're nearing the end of what the county can do here for the broadband in Center County,
In this round, yeah.
this round anyway. All right. Moving on to the check run. I think Commissioner Concepcion might have that somewhere.
Yeah, so the check that I'd like to recognize from today's check run is to Center Communications, and this is for 911 emergency machinery and equipment, part of our ongoing efforts to make capital improvements to our 911 system to keep it current and on top of modern technology. And with that, I would move that we approve the check run that is dated January 31st.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the check run dated January 31st. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose nay. Motion carries. John, I hope you don't have an administrator's report this morning. You don't? Okay. So moving on to reports and announcements, voter registration report from
Yeah.
Commissioner Concepcion.
Okay, so on today's report, our total number of voters is 101,753. That's down 90 voters from last week. Of those, we have 41,330 Democratic voters, 161 Green voters, 562 Libertarian, 15,510 with no affiliation, and 42,152 registered Republican voters. All of the other minor parties comprise 2,038 registered voters. The precinct of the week that I'd like to recognize this week is the Worth Township Precinct 85. There are 574 registered voters at Precinct 85, and they had a total voter turnout of 87.3%. At the most recent election in November. They vote at the Sportsman Association building at 8413 South Eagle Valley Road in Port Matilda on State Route 220. And we'd like to thank them for the use of that facility for our election administration.
Great, thanks Commissioner Concepcion. Moving on to announcements, Center County government offices will be closed on Monday, February 17th in observance of President's Day. Are there any executive sessions to report or hold, John?
No executive sessions to report. However, there is a need to hold an executive session to discuss real estate and personnel matters.
All right. I'm assuming immediately after this meeting then?
If
Okay.
you're so inclined, yes.
All right, that sounds good. The remainder of the public meeting schedule, we have a combined Salary Board and Board of Commissioners meeting at 10, a Retirement Board meeting at 1 o'clock, and then on Tuesday, Board of Commissioners meeting again as usual at 10 a.m. Do we have any questions from the press today?
Anything in particular on the county wish list for the governor's budget address?
Well, we did have a couple of requests in revolving around affordable housing and also support for potential high-growth entrepreneurs. Additionally, the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania is requesting an additional, I think it was $200 million for mental health, which has been only slightly increase in funding over the past 15 years or so. Obviously, the county funding for the Human Services Block Grant, which was great initially because it gave us a lot more flexibility, but that also has not seen significant increases now in about 15 years. So we'd love to see the governor highlighting county government needs and county government requests because we, as was mentioned earlier today with weights and measures, we touch the lives of citizens in Center County every single day. We just tend to do it pretty quietly. I don't know if you, other commissioners want to add anything to that.
That covers it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anything from Tim? No? Any other follow-up questions, Gary? No? All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for coming, and looks like we get to take a motion to adjourn.
So-
Enter into exec session.
I'll move.
Oh, you're right. Enter into exec
I'll move that we enter into exec session at 11:20.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to enter into executive session at 11:20. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye. Pose nay. Motion carries. We'll go into executive session, I'm assuming, next door.
Next door. It's available.
Great. Thanks again.
Thank you, everyone.